Hi, welcome back to Movie Review Mom. Thanks for subscribing. I really appreciate your support as I try to build this little channel. Today, the movie I'm going to tell you about is called Stardog and TurboCat. The studio actually sent me a review copy, which I always love when studios do that, so I can tell you about it. Right now, it's available on DirecTV Cinema, and then it's going to go to video on demand on June 19th and streaming and possibly theaters if theaters open. So we'll see what happens. But first of all, let me tell you a little bit about it. It's rated PG. It's an hour and 30 minutes. And the movie review mom grade I'm going to give it is about a B, B plus, probably a B. I always change my mind. I'll tell you in a quick nutshell a few things about it and then point out some things I liked and didn't like, as well as discuss some tips for parents and some themes. All right, so first of all, in a quick nutshell, Headgear Films presents this very family-friendly animation written and directed by a newbie on the scene named Ben Smith. So good for him. Okay, some quick tips for parents. It is family friendly. There are just a few little things I wanted to let you know about so you can make your own decision. For example, this is a very small moment and it will make kids laugh, but somebody's underwear gets stuck on a lunchbox. So kids will, very young kids will see that and they'll laugh, whatever. It's a pair of boys' underwear. So there's that. Kids will probably get a real kick out of the funny differences between cats and dogs, in particular, their personalities in general. So that plays throughout the whole movie because the movie is about a dog and a cat and their adventures. Well, I don't want to give a whole lot away, but the dog travels through space and time, and the cat has high-tech stuff going on. So they're not your typical dog and cat. One of the characters, well, it's the cat, one of the characters says, dang it. So other than that, there's no profanity in the movie and the language is really clean. And I say, dang it, too. So I don't really consider that profanity because it's replacing another word. But anyway, that's how clean the movie is. There is some cartoon violence and creatures in various perilous situations, what you see in most cartoons nowadays. Now, there is a plot line where the adults and the kids, really, everybody in this town believes that you can't trust animals. And so you should talk to your kids about whether or not you believe that, first of all, whether or not that's true, and if so, in which situations or circumstances. It's never really quite explained in the movie why it is they have that belief. So that's kind of odd, but it's certainly a topic worth discussing with your children, especially your young children. If you go onto my website, moviereviewmom.com, you can click on a link where you can download a bunch of activity sheets that go along with the movie. They have like little crossword puzzles or little picture challenges and just little activities and stuff. So if your kids really like this movie, then they'll probably get a kick out of working on those little activity sheets, and that'll keep them busy for a few minutes. And then you can have this big discussion about some of the themes in the movie. Oh, and by the way, parents might also need to explain what the deal is with cats and catnip, and maybe that would lead into a discussion about drug use. Just a thought. Now, some of the themes that are worth talking about with your kids are the value of home and that feeling of being home, friendship, teamwork, unity. Heroism is mentioned a few times. So that would be really fun to talk to your kids about what is a true hero and how can they be heroes in their everyday life. Because the movie is about cats and dogs, you can talk about the bond between humans and their pets, and especially have a conversation with your kids if you do have pets or if your kids have been asking to get pets. There's an aspect of time travel and science and technology, the treatment of animals, and then a few times magic is mentioned. It's not really developed deeply. It's not a huge theme, but it's mentioned enough that you can talk to your kids about what you think about magic. Now, some things that I really liked about the movie is, first of all, there's some beautiful music and very beautiful, colorful animation, especially at the very beginning of the movie. Oftentimes, I'll be previewing a movie, and within just the first minute, I'm like, oh, this is going to be a long experience for me to sit through this movie. And so it opened, and I was like, oh, this could be really good. And the the flavor or the tone of the animation changes just a little bit, but it's still very well done. It's very colorful. The animation has some great detail that allows for some cute moments through the visual animation. If you're a fan of Back to the Future and that trilogy, you'll get a kick out of the town square in this little town called Glenfield, because it looks like it came straight out of that movie. There are actually a few other shout outs to other movies. I'll call them positive shout outs rather than just blatantly stealing ideas. For example, there's this big mechanic uh, mechanical robot kind of a thing that's straight out of the movie Avatar, the animation movie Avatar, but we can just say that that introduces our kids to some of those kinds of elements. Some of the humor actually made me laugh out loud and I thought was pretty clever. And then some of the other movie just didn't quite land, but that could easily be said about a lot of movies. The voice talents include Luke Evans, who you have seen star in Beauty and the Beast, among other movies, Nick Frost, Gemma Adderton, Bill Nye. I was so thrilled to see him in this movie. Well, you don't really see him. He voices a robot, but I'm such a fan of his, so I liked seeing him in there. And then there's the new TikTok sensation, Charlie D'Amello. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing her name correctly, but young viewers might recognize her and be really excited about that. And what a great idea to incorporate somebody who's popular on TikTok into an actual movie. So, what is it going to take to get into your next movie? I would love to be in your next movie. I'm talking to the studio right now. Bullion the goldfish has some really pretty cute, funny lines and visual humor. It's just a really cute, cliched character, but I really liked him. He's voiced by Ben Bailey Smith. Now, there were some things that I didn't particularly like, nothing huge, but as I mentioned before, there are some things in the plot that are never fully explained, like why is it that humans don't trust animals? That was kind of strange. Parts of the plot just really don't make that much. A lot of exposition scenes are required to kind of explain what's going on, especially so little kids can understand, although little kids probably really don't care about the plot. So maybe for the parents to be able to sit through. You remember the character Puss in Boots in the Shrek trilogy and how it made that little face that just melted everybody? Well, they do that in this movie with cats and dogs. And it's funny the first time, not quite as cute as the way that Puss in Boots does it, but cute enough, you get it. And then that gag kind of overstays its welcome. It's used many, many times in the movie. And now, generally, I think parents will be willing to sit down and watch this movie with their kids. And in the beginning, think like I did, oh, this is pretty cute. And then, kind of like all frenetic animation movies for kids, there's lots of chaos and commotion and running around and action and stuff that kind of starts to grate on you a little bit. It's still cute. I watched the entire movie, but I'm just saying, parents that are willing to watch this movie may be more interested in washing the dishes or doing other chores before the movie ends. But it is a family friendly movie and one that, again, can spur a lot of conversations with your kids. Okay, that's it. Again, be sure and check out my website and you can download those fun activity sheets for your kids. I think that overall you'll enjoy it. It's time well spent with your kids. Anytime you spend time with your kids is time well spent. Anyway, we'll see what happens during the month of June if theaters open. If not, I hope that you enjoy this movie at home. Have a great time watching movies with your family. Bye for now.